this isn't going to change anything for Amber. She's still going to go about business as usual. She's still going to manipulate her audience. She's still going to keep trying to search for a girlfriend. If anything, she'll probably get some more views right now because people are going to be searching for hints of anything in her upcoming vlogs. Good morning, y'all. It's Rosie here. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. I just hope you had a good day. It's kind of early in the morning on Tuesday. I just talked to Tom and he's going to sleep so he can get up and go to work tomorrow. And I wanted to go ahead and film this video so that I can kind of, I don't want to use the word purge my mind, but like I would like to stop like kind of actively thinking about this or how I want to say things. So I just thought I'm going to go ahead and crank this video out for you guys, give you my thoughts, because I said I would give you my thoughts on the Casey interview for Mr. Snowflake. Essentially last night, I watched the Casey interview, and I gotta pause it. I'm sorry. The chewing noise is Bean. Now that he's awake, he's like, it's go time. So I don't even know what he's chewing on. It's too early. Anyway, last night, Christmas night, I watched the Casey interview, and I hadn't watched the Victims of an Empath, like episode 1 or part 1, whatever he called it. Before the interview, I didn't really have any like big interest in watching it, but after watching the Casey interview, I was like, you know what? Let me go watch the part 1 that Mr. Snowflake put together and like refresh myself, because after the interview, I thought to myself, you know, a lot of the stuff that they talked about was stuff that in the Amberverse we kind of knew of or knew about. And so then when I went and watched part 1, I was like, wow, okay, I've seen these clips. I've seen Casey's rebuttal video. I've seen pretty much all of those videos from Amber and like those different screenshots from Amber, like or things from her You Now. Like, it was crazy the amount of information that I already had, but seeing it all kind of put together and clipped together was a different experience entirely. So I think I don't want to go like in depth into this. That's not what my channel is about. That's not the type of stuff I like to talk about personally. I think, like I've said before, I like to keep a lot of my personal information private, a lot of my private life private. I will just say that watching all of this brought up a lot of stuff for me that I never want to think about again. So that is the big reason that I want to just say what I thought, clearly, concisely as I can. Y'all know I like to ramble, and just kind of move on from this on my channel. Like, strong takeaways is, I know that Casey said that he is, you know, as happy as he has been for a long time, even though he's not in a relationship right now, and that he's had a lot of really bad relationships after Amber because of his low self-esteem or thinking that being treated that way is acceptable. And then his like later relationships kind of just mirrored what he had with Amber. But like now, being single, having his degree and having a job and trying to focus on his health, I think that's all he can do, you know? And I was really sorry to hear that he had a stroke. I didn't know that Casey had a stroke at 22. That's just crazy. Anyway, let's see. Sorry if I keep looking over here. I kind of tried to organize my thoughts just so I don't miss anything that I do want to convey to you guys. something that felt really strongly for me, or like resonated with me, was when Casey was saying that he wasn't going to be bullied out of sharing his truth. And a lot of that, I think, had to do with his rebuttal video, but then also now, like being able to do this interview and talk about things with Mr. Snowflake. And something that really struck me from that was, we all know that Amber threatened Becky with like legal action if she shared stuff about their relationship. Now, I will say Becky has some problematic things of her own, and I'm sure she doesn't want Amber to like air any of those should she say something about Amber. But I feel like for Becky's mental health, I know she really just wants to move on from the bad things that she experienced. I think it would probably behoove her to maybe even just do an interview with Mr. Snowflake if she doesn't want to just share stuff on her own. Yeah, I think, you know what, like, be damned with what might come out about Becky or what Amber might say, because Amber has pretty much, you know, slammed your character, your physical appearance, everything about you for years at this point. I think it might be beneficial if Becky would just get out here and actually give us her side of the story. I'm not saying she needs to or has to, or I'm not even encouraging her to. I just, after watching this and seeing what, like, how long it took Casey to work through things, and how long it took Casey to work through things that he still suffers with that she did to him. I can't talk, y'all. It's too early in the morning. I think this might actually help Becky, and maybe Becky would be able to work through things at a faster pace, and maybe it not be like over a decade later and her still struggling with what Amber forced her to do or did to her or what have you. Something I really felt kind of compelled to touch on was how Amber has changed over the years. So with Casey, we're seeing Amber being openly mean, right? Hitting, screaming, snooping through Casey's phone. We're seeing Amber throw stuff at Casey's mom. You're seeing Amber post lots of like really hateful stuff online. You're seeing the verbal, you're seeing the physical abuse. You're seeing emotionally what Amber did to Casey, and Amber was doing all of that out in the open, right? Okay. What is truly terrifying about that is that over the years, there's been this shift where Amber has figured out not to do all of that outwardly. She's emotionally abusing her partners. She's financially abusing her partners. And the whole while making it seem as though she's not doing anything, which is terrifying. At least with Casey, there was this like physical evidence, this physical component, or this like very obvious component where she's posting like hateful stuff online about Casey. Like, you can see the malice, you can see like the intent, you see what she's doing to Casey. Amber's partners after that, you're not seeing those things. Those things aren't clearly visible to an outside observer. And that in itself is terrifying. And then seeing how broken Casey was after everything, seeing the look on Becky's face after their relationship. I mean, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. And the thought that Amber is able to sort of hide those parts of herself while still being, you know, ABU, I'm sorry, is really, really scary. And it's terrifying, like, how evil it is. Now, I guess where I kind of want to go from there is, like, the isolating Casey from his friends, trying to make Casey lose friends, like, getting Casey's friends' phone numbers, and, like, you saw Amber trying to, like, do things with Becky's friends or Destiny's friends and trying to insert herself into things that she shouldn't have been, or cause trouble where you didn't need to, or maybe even cheat with Rafe. Like, I don't know what was going on with any of this. And I really don't want to talk about the, like, stuff. And the stuff with Libby, like, I just don't want to touch on that. That's not what I'm here for. I think what's going on and the exposure that's happening is enough. I really just want to give, like, my thoughts and feelings and what stood out to me. Yeah, I mean, this video just made me sick to my stomach. Bean, can you stop eating breakfast for just a minute, baby? The final topic from the video that I want to touch on is Amber's essay story. Now, when I went in and watched the part 1 of the Victims of an Empath, after watching the interview, I remember watching that video years and years and years ago. I've watched it since. And I remember watching the Casey video, like the rebuttal, years and years and years ago. What I was really struck by this time, and I'm sure this is what Mr. Snowflake wanted to really stand out, was how utterly ridiculous Amber's video was. Now, I have said in the beginning of this video that some of this kind of struck home for me, and made me think about some personal experiences that I really don't want to think about at all. And something that just kind of really stood out for me and really solidified for me that it was how when Amber brought Casey up and then said that they still chat now and again on Facebook, knowing about her asking for sex tips from Casey when she got with Destiny after her and Crystal were over. After now rewatching the SA video, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. And the fact that there are people out there who will believe Amber and think all of these things of Casey, and think of someone who was a victim, that they could be the abuser, is heartbreaking for me. The way she's so casual about so many things. I mean, if you watched either of those two videos and you see the things that they point out that Amber's super casual about, like, oh, if you're just getting hit a couple of times, it's whatever. Like I said, I have my own personal things that I've worked really hard to get through over the years. And I think I'm going to leave that comment with, I would never, ever talk to them on Facebook or the phone. I think if I saw them in person, that's all I know. Casey is a stronger person than me in that regard, that he could still talk to Amber. So, and then a bit of a more lighthearted, and we already know that Amber does this shit. Her copying Casey's coming out story, pretending that Casey's fanfics were her own, copying Casey's diagnosis. What? You just leave a little clip right here.
Did she have anything when she was with you?
Cellulitis.
The fact that Casey still wants Amber to go to college, treat her partners better, and live a better and more fulfilling life speaks to Casey's character, in my opinion. And I think no matter what Amber does or says, and whether she responds or not, because I'm pretty sure she's out there just making stupid TikToks as this video had come out.
Block you. Nah. You're gonna watch me win.
I think Casey is a much better person. Casey may be a much better person than me, because I don't know if I could have been that kind of level-headed and still wish her the best after all of this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to leave you guys with this. I've now like dragged myself down into a mental like pit, and would like to recover with maybe some Japanese videos and some bean snuggle time. I'm also crocheting Tom a scarf. Tom will watch the first 5 minutes of my video, so I know he's not gonna see the scarf. Which I have to finish today so that I can send it to him with his little care package in the mail of his Christmas gifts that he got from my family. So, yeah. I don't know if any of the topics that I touched on, if I was able to completely convey my thoughts. I'm just a little, like, down from this. I do feel as though this isn't going to change anything for Amber. She's still going to go about business as usual. She's still going to manipulate her audience. She's still going to keep trying to search for a girlfriend. If anything, she'll probably get some more views right now because people are going to be searching for hints of anything in her upcoming vlogs. It's sad that she's not going to change. I know most of us who come here to watch her, we want her to lose weight and get her life on track and maybe stop drinking at home alone. But she's definitely got some bigger issues to work through, but I don't think she'll get the help she needs. Anyway, I can't say that I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, thank you. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Any comments you have, thoughts, questions, feelings, anything you think. I know I asked this in my last video, but if you have any thoughts on what you think Amber's going to do moving forward, I would enjoy reading about them in the comment section. So, yeah, I'll see you on my next one. Bye.